keep in mind these are general readings, so take what resonates. Leave what doesn't. If you find that the reading doesn't resonate, you can always check your moon, rising, or Venus placements because sometimes those will resonate more. And I do offer personal readings. You can get all that information in the description box. All right, Pisces. Let's see what messages are wanting to come through for you this week. The moon is you. The moon is also Cancer, but the moon is that deep intuitive knowing. We do have a Pisces full moon on the 20th, so you're going to feel the effects of that more intensely than most people. You might find the Pisces full moon is a very emotional type of energy. It's meant to kind of tap you into what your deepest dreams are, what your deepest desires are. It's also meant to kind of connect you more to your emotional world, to your spiritual world, to your intuition. So anything that comes up for you that doesn't feel good right now, that's showing you what you are needing to kind of work on releasing in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so your overall energy is the Ship card. This represents kind of freeing yourself from burdens, but it also represents taking a moment to look at the bigger perspective of whatever situation that you're dealing with, whatever situation right now that you feel emotionally connected to. You do have the moon and you have the swans. This is a really, this represents a really deep connection to another person. It represents feeling a very strong bond to another person. In front of that, you have the Book card, which represents there's a lot of unknown, but it also represents starting a new chapter. I kind of feel like you might be wanting to like learn something new, or you might be wanting to learn more about somebody that you're connected with. You might feel that somebody that you're connected to maybe is closed off in some way, or there's just a lot of unknown about this person. But I kind of feel like with this week, with this, it's more important to like tap into what you're feeling and look at the bigger perspective and look at what you would like to manifest in this connection, or whatever it is that you're feeling very emotionally connected to right now. Let me get a little bit more. I feel like too that you might be finding that your feelings are changing in a certain situation, or your feelings are changing in a connection. It might be like a lot that either you didn't anticipate feeling. Let me just get a little bit more. Clarify each of these, please. Yeah, you're definitely gaining a new perspective. It's about looking at something from a different perspective. Meaning kind of do what you can to kind of, how do I word it without sounding crazy? Like whatever situation that you're dealing with, whatever path you're wanting to take forward, whatever that is, I feel like you are in this space where you want to start something new. You might have a connection to somebody that you feel this really deep connection to this person. I mean, this is a very, this 2 6s, which is the energy of unconditional love. Like, this is feeling this really deep bond with another person. There is kind of this unknown element to it. Or it's like going from this desire to actually starting, like having a new beginning with this, whatever this. There's a lot of unknown, or there's something that you're wanting to figure out with this before you move forward. There's something about this connection that you're learning something new. Either you're learning something new about this person, or you're learning something new about yourself in this connection. If this is this really strong, like twin flame soulmate connections, those connections do kind of trigger this having a deeper understanding of yourself, having a deeper understanding of love, having a deeper understanding of another person. And I feel like there's something about this connection that you're learning a lot more about yourself. You're learning more about this person, or you want to learn more about this person. But I feel like you might be feeling stuck on how to even go about that. You have the Hangman and the Ship card, and again, that's about taking a minute to look at this from a different angle. You might be feeling like there's a lot of obstacles between you and manifesting this connection, or you might just be kind of focused on trying to figure out in one specific way. But if you can, like I almost want to say, like, pull your, like, visualize yourself like rising above the, like, if you were seeing it from, like, a higher power, or an angel's perspective, like if you were above everything and looking down on everything. I know that sounds really crazy, but it's just like there's this need to kind of pull yourself out of the thicket of things, or out of the overthinking, and look at it from a different perspective. And I also want to say, like, there's another element to this relationship. There's a more spiritual, and I hate saying spiritual because spiritual is so different for different people. It's like it's this higher vibrational connection. There's something so different in this connection that you really can't figure out by looking at it in a logical way. And so this could even mean taking that time to meditate on this, to pay attention to your dreams, to even pray about, pray to your guides about, how to proceed forward, whatever this is. But this unknown element, this thing that you can't quite put your finger on, that you can't quite figure out, it's because you can't get the answers to this by looking at this logically. This is about kind of like going to that higher energy, trusting in your intuition, trusting in your emotions, tapping into your emotions, and paying attention to what you feel as opposed to what logic is telling you to do. All right, let's get a little bit. Yeah, even the four, this is kind of being in that place of like retreat. It's being in that space of healing. You might be kind of withdrawing from a situation, or you're in a relationship with another person and there might be some kind of distance between you two, or maybe there's just not a lot of communication between the two of you, but it's also a very peaceful energy. Um, and if you notice that, that's that red string of fate. It's like having this sense of peace, or trying to find that sense of peace in this connection, trying to retreat and understand this connection. This is also an energy of being in that space of healing. Okay, yeah. So you have the Ace of Swords as your overall energy and the King of Swords underneath that. You're definitely in this space of wanting to gain clarity, of trying to do the right thing, maybe trying to understand where you stand with another person. Maybe even you're in a connection with another person and it's kind of like like you're in this very analytical phase of it. You're really looking at this in a very logical way. You're trying to figure out how to proceed. Or in this connection with another person, you might even be finding that it's like kind of become emotionally detached. But I don't feel that that's for a negative reason. I feel like it's just in that space of just really trying to gain a lot of clarity. You could also, if you're in a connection with another person and you feel disconnected from this person, you do have the Five of Swords in the recent past. So maybe there has been a disconnect between you two in the past, or even you've been in situations or relationships in the past where like you feel like you were wrong, or you were left feeling very defeated, like almost you felt maybe even kind of mocked by this, either maybe by this person or in connections in the past. And so I feel like there's this, with this Nine of Swords, it's like there's this overwhelming, I feel like you and this person are both really focused on each other. You both think about each other a lot. You're both trying to kind of maybe figure each other out. I feel like there's a lot of thinking going on, but with the Nine of Swords being in front of you, I feel like a lot of it is not really addressed. It's not really communicated. Underneath that, you do have the Six of Swords, which does indicate a really strong soulmate connection, but it also indicates really looking back. It's almost like looking back on memories and kind of nitpicking everything, or looking back, judging this connection by things of the past, or look, maybe even you're trying to figure out and heal things from your past. And you have the Queen of Swords there too. Like, this is divine. If this is a connection with another person, you and this person are like on the same page. Um, And what the challenge is the Emperor. So that's that grounded energy that is making plans, moving, like knowing what to do moving forward, feeling that confidence moving forward. You have the Knight of Wands underneath that. And the Knight of Wands is that very passionate energy. It's very action oriented energy. But the Knight of Wands tends to kind of take flighty action. Like the Knight of Wands can be, will be triggered and take action out of fear, or the Knight of Wands will take action without thinking, rushing towards something that feels good, and then kind of stepping into something that maybe isn't all that great. And so I feel like it's like there's this connection, and there's almost like this peace in this connection to some degree, but when it comes to taking action, these thoughts, whether it be you or this person, and it might even be both of you, you've made the wrong move or feel like you've made the wrong move in the past, and it's been out of this Knight of Wands energy. And so it's like when it comes to really kind of sitting there and really, taking that solid action or feeling confident about moving forward, there's where that kind of hesitation comes in. And so I feel like you really want to do the right thing. You want to bring balance. You want to know, what action to take moving forward. You want to really see both sides of everything. Your fear is the Tower. Your fear is that either you're completely wrong or that everything is going to blow up in your face. But there's this very, it's that really cheesy, I don't even know what that, I can't even word I can't even word it right. It's like you're both looking up at the same stars, or you're both looking up at the same moon, like that really cheesy energy, like you both want the same thing. And this is very much kind of a divinely guided kind of connection. You have the Emperor and the Empress, which are divine counterparts. It's like you and this person are both kind of stuck in what action to take moving forward. And your guidance is the Page of Cups. And then you have the Empress as your outcome. The Empress is that nurturing energy. The Empress, again, is that very deep healing energy. The Empress is stepping into that energy of unconditional love, taking that time to manifest it. Pisces have this amazing ability to manifest on a different level than most people, because part of manifesting what you want is focusing on what you want and being able to visualize it, being able to get excited about it. And Pisces have that ability to daydream like stronger than any other sign. And so that's kind of your guidance this week, is take that time to daydream, take that time to fantasize about what you want, nurture what you want. The next step in manifestation, and I think that's where Pisces kind of struggle, is when it comes to knowing when to take action or knowing what to do, because the law of attraction is you focus on what you want to manifest, you set your intentions for it, you take that time to daydream about it, you take that time to get into that feeling, to get excited, and then you allow the energy to come to you. And part of that energy is that inspiration, that knowing when to take action, or knowing what action to take, or even trusting in your intuition enough to know when this opportunity is coming towards you. And I think that's where Pisces struggle with, is in taking that inspired action, because you are so good and comfortable in that daydreamy world. And that's like that beautiful energy of manifesting. It's just about trusting in trusting in the opportunity when it's presented to you, or trusting in that divine inspiration energy. And that's the difference between this Knight of Wands and this Emperor. I feel like you have followed that. And I feel like, in all honesty, I think that we always worry about making the wrong moves, or we feel like, okay, we've taken this action in the past and it went very wrong. There are no mistakes, and we have to keep reminding ourselves, if you took action towards something and it didn't go the way you wanted it to, it wasn't a mistake. It was like everything is meant to put you in a better space in some way, shape, or form. So, and I know that's easier said than done. um Let me get a little bit. You might be finding that this kind of overthinking energy is coming up a lot more, because not only are we in this um, Pisces full moon energy, which is going to bring up all these emotions, it's going to bring up all of these past fears. We're also stepping into a Mercury retrograde in Libra. And so that usually will cause a lot of misunderstandings. It will cause miscommunication. Um, it will cause us kind of to get in our head a little bit, or a lot even. But this Libra, the retrograde energy is kind of bringing up like the unresolved issues in relationship, or struggles that we've always dealt with in relationships. So in that sense, don't be so hard on yourself if you find yourself overthinking a lot. Just pay attention to those repetitive thoughts that are coming in right now that are not so positive, and ask yourself like where those doubts came from, where those feelings came from, and be willing to kind of work through those kind of energies. Because I feel like whatever you're feeling, whatever it is you want, whatever you want to manifest, I feel like it's very much available to you. It's just about feeling grounded in that energy. Yeah, there's all of these feelings. There's all of this emotion that has not been, it's either not been addressed or not been expressed. So it's, if it's between you and another person, there's all these feelings, but it's like you're not having that outlet, or this other person has all these feelings for you and they haven't expressed them to it. It's like all of these feelings not being addressed or not being expressed in some way. It's like really starting to eat at you. And I feel like to the point where you're questioning your own feelings. Yeah, whatever's going on in this connection, if you do feel that there's some disconnect between you and this person, I feel like both of you are honestly just in this space of healing. Um, if there was any disagreement between you and this person in the past, I feel like this person is really wanting to do the right thing. They're really wanting to move forward with compassion. They're really wanting to kind of hold back like they're trying to hold back their ego. They're trying to hold back to not run into any kind of mistakes moving forward. So I feel like if there does seem to be some kind of disconnect between you and this person, if you can just tap into the feelings and into the energy of this connection, there's a lot of peace in this. Like there's a lot of peace in the energy between you two. Um, And so it's like allow that time for that nurturing and let yourself be inspired to take action. There's a difference between being inspired to take action and taking action because you feel that you need to take action. When you feel inspired to take action, it feels good. It feels there is a sense of peace to it. Even though it's like this desire to take action, it's this inspiration, it's this fire energy. There's also kind of this calm and this comfort to it. When it's like more of an aggressive energy or like, oh, I have to do this right now, that's that taking action because you feel like you have to take action. And so it's like, let yourself kind of be inspired. I also feel that with this person, there's something that's been communicated between the two of you that this person is really sitting back and taking that time to really think on this. And they're seeing it from a different perspective. Like I feel like you both learn a lot from each other. So even if there's this lull in communication or communication with any kind of emotional attachment to it, there's a lot of healing going on, and I feel like you and this person are both gaining a new perspective on this connection. And like letting this relationship inspire you, if that makes sense. If you're worried about where you stand with this person or where this person wants this connection to move towards, I do feel that this person is working on showing you that or expressing that to you. Oh yeah, your guidance is Page of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Swords. So it's like let yourself dream big. Don't get too logical about it. Kind of set your intentions and pay attention to the information that's coming, the guidance that you're getting, not that logical information. You'll gain the clarity that you need. One more. Two of Wands, yeah. Yeah, it's like follow your heart, not logic. Easier said than done, right? Yeah, it's like you're both focused on doing the right thing. You're both seeing this as something long term. You both have kind of been the type of Knight of Cups energy in the past, either with each other or with relationships in the past, where um, you've been in that kind of hopeless romantic type of energy. You've pursued things, and I feel like it hasn't gone the way you wanted to in the past. And so and I feel like you both have been in that space before. And so you're both in this kind of like more of like a planning phase. So let me see what final messages want to come through for you. Oh, I love that. Okay. So you have the transformation card as your overall energy. This is very Scorpio energy, and that means kind of going through this really dark and heavy period, or this seemingly very dark and very heavy period, or in this space of this complete unknown, but coming out of that like 10 times better, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. This is a very transformational type of connection. And so I feel like there's this passion, there's this desire. This connection is just going through a very powerful transformation. And there's this pure potential, there's that deep love. You have 1111 here, which is that very spiritual type of energy. So I feel like overall you're going through this pretty big transformation and change within yourself. And I feel like, again, in the past you have felt very defeated, and maybe by this person, maybe by this connection. Maybe there's this fear on both sides of doing the wrong thing, of seeing things the wrong way, of making the wrong move. But there's a lot of feelings that are coming to the surface right now. There's a lot of like changes in perception. There's a lot of healing going on. So this sword energy is saying that there's this energy of kind of protection around you, of protection around this connection. And it's almost like if you feel like you're in this bubble, or if you feel like you're in this dark space, it's because you're gaining this clarity that you need. And you're getting back to this kind of like very innocent place again, either within this connection, or it's this connection. Unless this is somebody that you're 100% set on leaving behind, but if you have a connection that you feel this strong connection to this person, even if there's a disconnect between you two, like I said, it feels like a very peaceful, like it seems like there's this kind of defeated kind of energy between the both of you, but it still feels very peaceful and very comforting, if that makes sense. It's going through this very intense transformation. You both are kind of getting rid of these negative perceptions about yourself, or negative perceptions about relationships, or you're healing past energies. The Eight of Swords and the Ace of Swords, again, it's like like right now you might feel like you're just wrapped in your own head, but there, like I said, there is this element of healing going on. Try not to get in your head so much. Try to connect more to those emotions, because you're going to, once you get out of this kind of heavy place, you're going to kind of feel that inspiration and know exactly what to do moving forward. All right, I love you guys. Have a good week. Bye bye.